We don't know how long we're here. Why am I going to wait to run 50 miles when I can do it now if I'm willing to put in the work and the time and the consistency? It's easy to kind of push our dreams down the road, and I'm urging people not to do that because you don't know how long you're here. You take 1 mile at a time, right? One aid station at a time. And with writing, you just one sentence at a time. And don't worry about the results. Just keep showing up. And it's just so much kinder to ourselves, right? To just show up and write without this pressure or this worry of, well, what am I going to write about? Just listen. If you just listen, we have tons of thoughts swirling around in our minds, right? Let's get them out. And then the good stuff really starts to come. I've learned that. I have to just write and get all the junk out. And then, now here comes the good stuff. Hi, I'm Julie and I'm a renegade.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Renegade podcast. Each episode we seek to explore the human connection we all have with running and endurance sport and find meaning in the miles. There are some journeys that don't just test the body, they quietly transform the soul. Julie B. Hughes ran her first ultramarathon, the historic JFK50 Mile, and discovered that it felt remarkably like writing a book, a solitary act of courage that only becomes truly possible because of the community that cheers you forward, one faithful step, one honest word at a time. A licensed physical therapist, an author, a wife, a devoted mother of two, Julie founded the Run to Write community, helping others find their footing both on the road and on the page. When life's challenges feel the most overwhelming, she invites us to meet difficulty, not with fear, but with curiosity, courage, and faith, reminding us of the profound therapeutic power of storytelling. Through her books and poetry, she becomes a quiet beacon for anyone willing to keep showing up. In her powerful new book, Miles of Meaning, From Doubter to JFK Finisher, Julie didn't simply finish the oldest ultra marathon in America. She turned those 50 miles into something sacred, naming every single mile after someone who's been touched by cancer, battling searing blisters at mile 32, and emerging on the other side with hard-won wisdom that will forever change how we train both our bodies and our minds. Julie B. Hughes, welcome to the show.
The Renegade is proud to be sponsored by Thrive Protein. Power your runs and fuel your endurance with Thrive Protein, the premier Canadian-made supplement brand crafted for endurance athletes. This family-owned brand uses a science-based approach to develop high-quality electrolytes, a carbon electrolyte powder, creatine, vegan protein powders, whey protein, and super greens. And they are constantly innovating. Recently brought to market EnduraFuel, hydration and fuel all in one. Each serving offers 30 grams of carbs in a 2-to-1 ratio of glucose to fructose. You also get 400 milligrams of sodium, 150 milligrams of potassium, 25 milligrams of calcium, and of magnesium, replenishing all the elements that you're sweating out during your efforts. It gives your body the energy it needs to perform at its peak. Plus, the lemonade flavor tastes amazing. Thrive is perfect for any athlete chasing any distance. Visit thriveprotein.ca and use the code RENEGADE for 20% off your order. Thrive Protein. Fuel your relentless pursuit of adventure.
Julie, welcome to the podcast. We are thrilled that you've joined us. And for the listeners, I met Julie B. Hughes at the JFK50 in 2025. I went into package pickup and I went there to load up on the shirts and the merchandise and just to go talk to the ultra folks and see all the runners coming in, picking up their packages. And there I saw Julie with her new book, and we had a great conversation, and I bought the book. It was a great read over the Christmas holidays. The book is titled Miles of Meaning, From Doubter to JFK Mile Finisher. And, Julie, most people spend their whole lives running away from that voice that says you're not enough. you ran 50 miles straight into it. What was the exact moment, maybe it was before the race or on the trails, that you realized that the doubt wasn't the enemy? It was the voice that you were running towards to become the runner you are.
First off, just thank you for having me on here. This is great. I don't know if there was a moment, because that doubt would creep in during training and, even before I signed up. And I think in this whole process, what I've learned is anytime you're going for something big, like a big goal or dream, or even doing something new, this doubt, this voice will come up and just try to squish it down, right? If it's fear or doubt, whatever it is. And I think in doing this, I figured out, well, this is why I'm running this race. I had a big why. And so anytime that doubt would creep in, I just have to just keep running and run with it anyways. Embrace the doubt and keep running. You're going to have the doubt, but keep moving forward, keep taking action. I don't know if that ever goes away, because as I look back on my life, I'm like, oh yeah, that's been with me a lot. And luckily I've learned to kind of have this friendship with it, maybe we could say.
Absolutely. It's so interesting, right? No matter how many races you've done or we do or training runs, doubt is just something that's always there.
Well, I think the main thing for me, writing definitely has helped. I started this writing practice 2020 where I was writing every day. And I would say that has really helped me to pay more attention to my thoughts, the sentences, the stories I tell myself. And I can look at it now on the page and be like, oh, that's interesting. Is this still serving me? Is this something I still want to keep thinking? So I would say over the years, the writing has really helped in that.
You're an author. You've written about pain. You've written about memories, your husband's battle with cancer. Mm-hmm. How did a dairy farm kid who, from the book, used to run away from chores, run into an ultra marathon and into writing books? Maybe share your running story with us.
Yeah. So I started running at a really young age. And in the beginning, this was my playtime. I would rather be on the roads running as long as I possibly could than being in the barn milking cows or feeding calves. So this love for running really started then, was when I could just go out alone on the country roads, no one telling me how far I could go or when I had to turn around. And thank you, Mom and Dad, for letting me do that, being on my own out there. And it was just such a blessing. So that started my running journey and the love for it. And what I noticed from running is the longer I ran, just the better I felt, the stronger I felt. I got confidence. And so that's kind of where this started, was, okay, now I want to run marathons. And it's really interesting looking back how my childhood working on the farm and just all the hard work there was preparing me to be an ultra runner. That's what I believe now when I look back because I didn't like it. I didn't like waking up early, 3 a.m, to go over and do barn chores, in all sorts of weather. We were out there in the winter months, the summer months, you're unloading hay wagons. So all of this though has really, I think, prepared me to endure, and to be an endurance runner, and also to face life's challenges. This whole thing with my husband, it has a lot of meaning now. There's a lot of gifts that have come out of that really horrible time. But I don't think I would have maybe been able to get through it as well if I didn't have my running and my writing. If I didn't have that, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe resilience. I don't know if that's the word, but maybe we get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, as ultra runners, as marathoners, as runners in general, you're going to be uncomfortable. And I think that's one thing that I'm trying to pass this on to my kids. It's okay to be uncomfortable.
I'm with you. I have two daughters, a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old, and the oldest is in her third year university, and my youngest is going to be going to university. And I never actually got them to run that much with me, but I always just wanted to pass along the resiliency, like from learning that you can do hard things, and it's okay that something's not going to feel 100%, and this sucks.
Yeah.
And to be at peace with that. What I loved about your story of miles of meaning, I saw a lot of similarities in your writing and training and running an ultra marathon. It requires like the same resiliency, the same practice, the same consistency, and the same time with your thoughts, and maybe just they're being delivered in a different manner. One's physical versus thoughts and feelings on a page. Where do you see the similarities between the running and your writing?
Oh, yeah, that's so fascinating because, like I said, I've always been a runner. I mean, I like to write, but I never really got into this writing practice till later in my life. And running is so much like writing because, yes, it is a solitary thing. You have to show up consistently. It's a practice. But I will say that my running it's such a gift because it gives me things to write about. You know, I noticed, and I'm sure there's lots of science behind this, but when I move, you know, it really just shakes things loose. Memories that I never have, like I haven't thought about in years. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to write about that as I'm running. You know, things that you see, that you hear, you can come back to the page and write them down. And you know, running 1 foot at a time, writing, okay, just one word at a time, just one word at a time. And then you're going to have a paragraph. You're going to have a page.
And
So
not getting too far ahead of oneself. I think that's super uber important, especially when you get into the ultra distances of one step at a time, 1 mile at a time, and using techniques to keep you in that moment. Don't think too far out. Don't worry about where you came from. Just worried in that moment.
yeah,
Is that
chunks.
something that came to you during your running evolution, or is that something that a coach inspired it into you, or from someone that you admired?
I mean, I think I've just read that in books, and you know, you
Mm,
take 1 mile at a time, right? One aid station at a time. Um, and with writing, you know, I was part of I'm still part of an online writing group, and it's just been so great and encouraging because that's what they're saying to me too. And I'm like, oh, this is so much like running. How it's okay, you just one sentence at a time,
mm,
and don't worry about the result. Just keep showing up, and it's just so much kinder to ourselves, right? To just show up and write without this pressure or this worry of, well, what am I going to write about?
mm.
Just listen. You know, if you just listen, we have tons of thoughts swirling around in our minds, right? Let's get them out. And then the good stuff really starts to come. I've learned that. I have to like just write and get all the junk out. And then, oh, now here comes the good stuff.
Are you, when you're on your run, do you find yourself doing this? You have a great thought and then you have to stop the run and then jot it down in the phone or like jot it down somewhere. Do you do that?
Oh gosh. I will carry sometimes a pen and an index card
Okay. Okay.
so that I don't forget, or I will just repeat it over and over and over
Yes. Yes.
until I
I've
get
been there.
home. And then at home, I'm like, okay, don't talk to me. Let me write this down really quick. Because you really get your best thinking, right? When you're running. So many great things pop into my head when I'm running. I'm like, oh yeah, this is great.
Well, you mentioned the power of just showing up. So your running career, you showed up. You've
Mm.
trained, you progressed. What do you remember your first sanctioned official race that you did, Julie? What was that race?
Gosh. Well, I do talk about my first race as like a kid in the book. Um, and I don't know if it was like a 1.5 mile race or 3 mile race. Either way, it was a shorter distance. But I just remember lining up, and I mean, you look around and it's just all age differences, you know, men, women, kids, we're all just piled in there. And I'm just in, a t-shirt and shorts, nothing fancy. But to stand around all these other people and we're all doing the same distance was really cool to me. I just felt like in that moment, okay, this is where I belong. This is fun. Because this was like, again, my play as a kid. Um, and I mean, the best part is everyone's cheering you on, total strangers pouring into you, right, as you're running. And then at the end is a big party. As a kid, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all this food.
It's wonderful, isn't it? It is
Right?
the best.
So
It is the best
wonderful.
feeling.
As a kid, I was like, wow, let's do this next weekend. Yeah.
And in the book, you walk through, you describe your evolution and what drove you to go up to the marathon distance. Maybe you can share that with the listeners.
Sure. So my senior year of high school, I got a letter in the mail to run for the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society team. It was a team. So you basically would raise money for leukemia, and you would run a marathon in Walt Disney World.
Oh, okay.
So here I am, a senior, and I've run, in high school. So I'm like, oh, I could do this. And one of my friends, she passed away from leukemia. She was on the cross country team. She was a year younger than me, or a grade younger. And I thought, oh, this is my chance to raise money to run for my friend, who I'm sure would have loved to do this. So thank goodness my parents agreed, and I was able to raise money. It was in January, so we got to fly down, and that was my first marathon. But what I learned in that training was, every weekend I would meet the team to train with them. That's when I kind of first learned, oh yeah, you need to drink something every couple miles. Like I was like, really? Okay. And afterwards they'd have food. There's always this like, okay, good. But after I crossed that line, I mean, it was hard. I think it took me 5 hours or something as a senior. But I can't tell you, crossing that line, that feeling, I can't even describe it. I don't even know if I can describe it great in words, how that feeling of, I got to do this. And some people would love to be in my shoes. And so I just have really never taken that for granted. But after crossing that line, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do this again, which, oh, that's it. You're going to be a marathoner. When you cross that line, you actually want to do it again.
Runners, your gear is holding you back. If you're struggling with chafing, useless pockets, and materials that feel too technical and just don't keep up with your training, let me introduce you to Path Projects, offering a complete line of gear and apparel built by runners, for runners, and today's modern endurance athletes that want to perform, train hard, and look damn good doing it. Say goodbye to chafing with Path's independent suspension design. They've separated the baseliner from the short, virtually eliminating all the rubbing and movement that traditional running shorts have. A simple design feature that makes all the difference. Less movement plus performance fabrics equals no burn, no chafing, no hot shower screams. My all-time Path favorite, their Graves PX. Their best-selling Graves PX running short, built with Toray Prime Flex, has a great feel while being extremely durable and has an unbelievable amount of storage. I've been able to carry gels, my iPhone, my car keys, and even hang a clip-on water bottle off the waist. And they're built to last. Path's Tahoe CL baseliners offer an all-season performance. The cool light mesh is for the extremists.
a bird's eye mesh fabric that is ultra light, super wicking, and insanely breathable. Comfort means everything. And they offer personalized performance. With Path baseliners, you have the choice of 2 fabrics in 4 lengths, 3, 5, 8-inch, and full length, which allows you to dial in a baseliner based on the current weather condition and your personal preference. And with the Path's Graves PX shorts, you have the choice of 2 fits, classic and relax, and 2 lengths, which give you the flexibility to match your short to the effort. With the right gear from Path, you can focus on your effort and getting after it. Check them out, pathprojects.com, and you can use the code TRP10 for 10% off your order for a limited time. And that's how you end up catching the super duper running bug. Okay, so that was your last year, your senior year in high school. Did you stick with running through college and university, or did you part ways with it?
Yeah, no, I did stick with it. Because my biggest goal was I want to get to Boston. So I ran in college. I'm trying to remember where I was in college, but I ended up running another marathon that qualified me for Boston. And I was like, okay, this is great. But then I got greedy. And 5 months later, I ran another marathon. And instead of, being smarter, maybe like looking back, we can say this now, but I was doing too much. I was overtraining. I wasn't taking care of myself. It was not a good part in my life, I guess, a good season in my life. And so I really was just running to deal with my emotional pain. And then this led to some physical pain. So I ran, I was going to do Boston, and then I got injured. And the injury, when I look back now, it wasn't running related. It's just, I was a runner and I wasn't taking care of myself. Mm-hmm. And so it was finally like, you need to take care of yourself. And so that really did motivate me, because I really loved to run and I really enjoyed it. So there was a point in my life where, I had a really big setback where I wasn't able to get to Boston like I wanted. But I have to tell you, God's timing is perfect, because in that pain and struggle and doing the work, I finally did get to Boston later on. And it was when I had my children. So they got to come and see me run Boston and finish. My husband was there too. So I thought, oh, this is way better. This is way better to do it with my family.
Absolutely. To be able to share that with your family, that'd be super wonderful. And, like looking back, you said you were just running as an outlet, right? Mm-hmm. When did you actually maybe come across, or did you come across how to train for a marathon? Because the first one sounds like you ran and you're a great runner and you were able to make great progress. But then your story is you had to do it a different way now. Like, when did you come to that point of, I have to train properly for a marathon, take care of the mind, the body, the soul, everything?
Yeah. When I became a mother, I'm telling you, when you become a parent, boy, it changes things, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It made me really face myself in a good way. Like, there were things I really needed to face, but in that, I linked up with a great coach. And gosh, I've been working with Joel probably since 2018 or maybe 2017. But that's really when things just started to really click. The nutrition, the sleep, the, mindset. We're not overtraining. Like, I was amazed it was like a 180 on when I had a coach giving me the training. I was like, wow, I'm not even sore. It was so weird. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? This is what we're doing? I feel really good. I felt really strong. And yeah, I mean, obviously I was in a better place. I was happier. I was taking care of myself. But it was really cool to have a coach to link up with in my corner to get me going. And I have been consistent since, and knock on wood, no injury, which is awesome.
Knock on wood. That's the runner's dream for sure. And usually a telltale sign that you're doing it the right way. So you've been working with Coach Joel and you
Yeah.
said consistency. So what does running look like for you in a week right now?
Okay, so right now I'm training for a 100 miler, and I really like Joel's philosophy because he will do my runs based on, time on your feet. So you're going to go out there and you're going to so we use the rate of perceived exertion,
Okay.
so, oh, you're going to go out. So conversation pace or easy, right? That 3 or that 4, or then you're going to do some tempo runs. And it's all based on how I'm feeling that day, which is so smart because, life happens and maybe you didn't sleep well or you're just feeling just not great. Then you're just going to go off what your body is saying for that run. So right now it's like, okay, you're going to go out and run, maybe an hour and a half. My longer runs are anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, but
Okay.
a lot of it's time, which I really like. For some reason, mentally, that just works for me. Instead
Yeah.
of you're going to go out there and run 20 miles, you're going to go run 25 miles. I don't know. Mentally, it's just like, okay, just go out there and
It
75
you're on
minutes.
it. Yeah, I totally agree. It's a
Right?
mindset hack. It's a hack where,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
people will stress out, I got to get, 16 miles today. I got to get 18 miles. You're like, I'm just going to go for a couple hours. How far I go doesn't really matter because it's all about the time on the feet. If you're worried about distance, then you're probably going to run faster and run yourself into trouble. That's usually what they say. Now,
Yeah.
I would assume lots of that training for a 100 miler, you're probably mixing up running, walking, hiking, or are you out there for 3-4 hours full running? Like what does a long run look like for you?
Oh, yeah. Like, so for example, last Friday, so I'm doing my long runs on Fridays right now. Um, and it was like, okay, you're going to do 25 minutes easy, and then 5 minutes, you're going to pick it up, like
Okay.
maybe moderate to tempo. And then you're going to walk a minute. So, or 2 minutes. So that's where you're going to, hydrate, get some gel, whatever. You're going to do this 6 times. So that's 3 hours basically. But again, it's this like how he sets it up. It's like, all right, I'm doing 25 minutes and a 5 minute, and then I walk. Like, so I'm saying that, and I'm not really thinking again about, oh, I got to go out there for 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Um,
yeah.
so it really has helped me mentally. It's been great, but that's kind of what I'm doing now. And then every other weekend, you're doing 2 a days. Like, okay, I'm going to do a long run in the morning, and then I'm doing a little bit later on in the day. But again, this is only possible because of this consistency that I've started since 2018. This is a long game. And I think there's no overnight success, right? There's no overnight, okay, now I'm just going to go run 100 miles. It really is putting in the time and the training and that consistency over intensity, right? There's moments where, yeah, I'm doing some tempo runs and things like that, but it's showing up. That consistency is big. I'm catching on with that now.
Well, I totally enjoyed the coaching aspect because in the book, I think it was like chapter 6, you talk about having a supportive coach. So you're a marathoner, you go talk to Coach Joel and you're like, I want to run a 50 miler.
Yeah.
What do you think? And his response was,
Go for it, right?
go for it.
Yeah, I
How
know.
important? How important is that support, the supportive coach?
Oh, I think that makes a huge difference to have someone in your corner, to have an alliance, and we work together as a team. He's like, okay, this is what we're going to do, but we talk about it. What are your obstacles? What are your concerns? How much time do you have today? What's your week look like? He knows I'm a mom. He knows I'm a wife and I have other responsibilities. So it's just really awesome to know, because I think this can be a hang up for people. It was for me in the beginning, this doubt of, oh, you can't do this. You don't have enough time. You have too many demands, blah, blah, blah. No,
Yeah.
it really is. It's doable. And again, if you really want to do it, you're going to figure it out. But to have Joel there just tweaking things for me. Listen, this is coming up. Okay, no worries. Like it was such a great, it was just, that was helpful because it kept me at ease and reassured me. I didn't freak out, if I missed a run because I was sick, right? It was like, no problem. We're just going to sidestep. No big deal. Like it wasn't an issue, So that's good.
Well, then if you look back for a moment and you compare marathon training and training for a 50-mile race, how different was it? And how was it the same?
Yeah. So the nutrition piece has really been a huge difference. Because, with marathoning, it was, okay, you have your hydration and your gels and you're out there a lot less. So I had to really get on board, and this has taken some work. You've got to eat more. You've got to take in more nutrition and not just gels, real food.
Yeah.
So that was a really big piece, starting in 2024 was training my gut, which I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, so it was really new, which was really cool to have that beginner's mindset, even though I'm running and I've run my whole childhood and up till now as an adult. It was so cool to learn something new and to challenge myself. Okay, so now I got to figure out, it's kind of cool. All right, now I got to figure out what can I eat? What do I like? How can I get in these carbs every hour? So that was really different, was the whole nutrition piece. The other thing, mantras, visualization, that's always been a piece of the marathon, but I really put more effort into it for this 50-mile race than I ever did before. I took deliberate time every Saturday to work on the mental training skills that I would need, that I believed I needed so that I could finish the 50-mile.
And finish you did. You finished in a fabulous time, about 9 hours and 30 minutes in and around there. That is a dynamite, super fast time for a 50-miler.
Wow, thank you. It was so fun. I mean, that race is just so fun. I just love it. And the community,
isn't it? It's a great race.
Everyone is just pouring into you, total strangers. It's just fabulous.
It's got a great community to it. And, I've run it 3 times. It'll be my 4th. And that's what I fell in love with when that first year I went down there. I always heard about it from Dr. Mark Kugazella and Two Rivers Treads. And I used to go down there to do some like the Harper Ferries half and, the runs that they would put on down there. And I always would hear about this JFK and, I caught the allure. And when I was younger, my mom loved JFK. So I always grew up and hearing these wonderful stories of JFK and how much he was admired. So this was always in my head. And then I kind of started reading and researching the race. And I'm like, this is like a really cool idea. So for the listeners, you might have heard, the ones who listened to the Renegade heard us talk about JFK before, but for new listeners, it all started off with the JFK challenge, where he wanted to be very similar to President Roosevelt, where he challenged the army or the military to be able to run 50 miles in 20 hours. And JFK wanted to bring back fitness to America. Is that kind of what the history of the JFK 50 is?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I was reading, was they wanted the military to get fit. And so, he found out this, Roosevelt's old idea was, so he wanted to bring that back. And what started out was interesting because it wasn't just in Maryland. I mean, it was all over the states that people were forming these 50-mile hikes or walks. And this one just kept going, which was pretty amazing for us, right?
Pretty amazing. 60, I think this would be the 64th year, I believe. It's 64.
Yeah, I think it is 64.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. The community, Mike Spindler, the race director, the whole crew, they put on a great show. So I like that you were talking about fueling for an ultra marathon, because you're bang on. If you're in a marathon, you can take the gel every 30 minutes, 2 gels an hour, hydrate at the stations, you'll be fine. If you're going to be out there for 10, 12 hours, you got to rethink this a little bit further and get used to running with a full belly. Like, I don't know if you had to practice that. I had to practice that to go right after dinner and start running with the food sloshing around in the stomach.
Yes. It's been kind of fun experimenting, right? So I try to, and I think that,
Yeah.
yeah, all right, I'm going to try. I really love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Oh my gosh. It's been so tasty in the freezing cold. I'm like eating this as it's, 5 degrees, snowing. I'll tell you, this winter has really been wild here. So I'm thinking, okay, this is helping me build my stamina, my mental toughness for this 100-miler coming up.
Oh, absolutely. And what 100-mile are you racing? Which one are you signed up for here?
The CNO 100-miler in
Okay.
Maryland.
In Maryland,
So
okay.
it's on the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal towpath.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
similar to the JFK, right? Yeah.
So it's pretty like 3 times JFK. Is it all on the towpath, or do you vary off the towpath?
Yeah, no, from what it's all on the towpath. So you do like a loop and you do 3 loops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love the towpath. It's a fabulous. Some people say it's kind of boring. It's right up my alley. I like the chip. I like that hard chip. I like seeing the water and the rapids.
Yeah.
And I just love that kind of like the tunnel feeling where you're like locked into this, the woods and the atmosphere. I always loved the CNO Canal.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. I thought it was fine too. And knowing that, there's an aid station coming up and what's it going to be? That is the fun part of the JFK. You never know what the aid station, right? I mean, they are
They're
wearing
amazing.
Outfits and Santa Claus, and there was Mr. Incredible.
What I love about the JFK is like you get like basically 4 different races in one. You're downtown Boonesboro, 6:30 in the morning. It's usually a little bit cool outside. The 3 years I've been there, and the gun goes off, and you race up to where the Appalachian Trail starts. You have to go up this fire road, but for the first like a couple miles, you're on just like a nice country road getting out of town. Then you hit this like little bit of trail, and you hit this fire road that seems to go straight up. It feels like it goes straight up. And then you hit that Appalachian Trail, and you got to have some good trail chops. I don't really have good trail chops, so I'm stumbling out there. I trip every year. I lose toenails every year. More on that because I want to get back to in the book about the toenails, because absolutely. And then you hit the towpath, and you run a marathon on the towpath, and then you hit the county roads into Williamsport. So you get like 4 different vibes. That's what I've always loved about it. But the aid stations, they are to die for.
They were amazing. I can't believe how generous and just thoughtful. The thought that went into each aid station, was just really, because again, this was my first 50, my first real long ultra. So this was all new to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I was really shy. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. They really get into it. And
so I was going to ask you about like, you ran marathons, got great finishing times. When you were starting to scope out what was your plan for a 50-mile race, how did you give yourself a time zone? Like, did you set like a really crazy goal saying, this is how fast I think I can do it? Or were you more conservative?
Yeah, I was more conservative because really I just wanted to finish. The book is called Miles of Meaning. There is a meaning behind each mile that I was running. So I dedicated each mile to somebody touched by cancer. And so it was more to just run for my 50 run buddies and to finish. But the competitive person that I tend to be, I was like, you know what? I did want to run it in 9 hours. I did have this goal of I'd love to run it in 9 hours. And, I talked to my coach and he's like, oh yeah. He was like, oh, you could do this in 8 to 9 hours. Like he really was like, oh, you could run it in 8 hours. So I'm like, oh, okay. Which is great to hear because tend to think I'm, so that was nice. I'm like, okay, well, if I can do it in 9, I'd be happy. And I think the trick is getting off that AT, it's hard to get off that.
That's right.
In the time that I needed to get off, but it's fine. It was, I was really happy to cross that finish.
It's such a great feeling to come up on you can see the high school off in the distance to the left. And it's, for you, it was probably still light outside. I finished this year. I was just a tad under 11 hours. So it was just getting dark, but I could see the lights. Yeah. And then you hear like the crowd at the end and your name getting announced. And in the book, I think you said that you raised your right arm as you went through. And I look back on my picture too. It's like, yeah, I put my arms up because yeah, you did accomplish something
Yeah.
huge. And that's what they call it, the finisher medal. It's not like and no one talks about, like where you place in the JFK. It's like, I finished the JFK. And it's that's the kind of spirit that really is in my mind, it's a different kind of race. It's not a race. It's like an endurance run with yourself. I think that's how I position it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that too. I think that's what I noticed. The difference from road racing to that ultra. There's a difference there, and I don't know if it's more laid back or because the food's involved. Like, I don't know.
Definitely
It's
the food.
really cool. It's just this. So this is why I'm going to keep going and pursue these endurance longer runs, because I really enjoyed it so far. So,
Well, if you're like most ultra runners, and when you cross that line, and this year you said you signed back up for the JFK,
yeah.
And do you know exactly your plan to where you could pull time off on the course, and that's what you're going to train for? Is it the trail running on the Appalachian, or where do you see the biggest work that you're going to do to get you towards the goal you want to run?
Yeah, I think maybe starting up closer, maybe to the start line. I mean, I don't know, maybe even doing that would help. I don't know. But yeah, definitely the AT, because it is tricky. I was very hesitant to pass anybody. I was scared. Okay, I was afraid. Luckily, I finally got over that fear the more I ran. But because I was new, I'm like, but luckily I was just watching other people, and then I followed suit. So I think now that I've done it, and you have that one that you've done, okay, now I can do things a little differently. Maybe, start up a little closer and don't be so shy to
That's right.
pass people.
That's right. Absolutely. I'm with you. The first year I ran it too, I was very shy, and I was taken aback when I did get passed, because I was like, I didn't want to, I wanted to get out of their way. I didn't want them to stumble, because I saw a couple people try to pass and fall. But there's lots of spots on that Appalachian Trail. If you just bide your time, you can find your opening.
That's right.
The one thing I found, I don't know for you when you ran it your first time, when I left Boonesboro, my first 2 years, I was like, I'm ultra conservative. So I was walking right from the start. And like last year, I'm like, I'm going to run from the start up to the Appalachian Trail. I can do that. And that probably saved me. Well, I was able to pull off like almost 45 minutes. A lot of that was just me running for the first couple miles instead of walking. Because I always had this in my mind where, you're going to get tired. And it's like, I'm not racing the ultra marathon. Like, I'm walking. So I didn't get tired. So that's one thing I found is, believe in myself a little bit further from the start line to the top of the Appalachian Trail.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, because I walked quite a lot in the beginning. So yeah, I can maybe run a little more. I don't know.
We'll be together. I'll be there. You'll probably be running faster than me. What's funny is each 3 years I ran it, as I get out of town, maybe about a mile, I hover around like the same pack of people that I recognize for 3 years. A lot of locals keep showing up. One gentleman's always there, and he always talks to me about my Exo Skins because he knows the owner of Exo Skins, and like all these amazing folks. And I was able to run with Adam Pop this year, who I had on the podcast before.
Nice.
But you find your crew, and they're all moving around the same pace as you. And yeah, as long they motivated me to keep running. Otherwise, I would have been walking myself. But hey, if we meet up at the start line, we'll pace you all the way to the top of the Appalachian Trail, and then I'll wave goodbye to you because you'll be gone.
That would be awesome. Oh, that's great.
Renegades, let's talk Paluva, the 5-toe zero-drop shoes built to fix our feet, our wimpy feet. They spread your toes, rebuild real foot strength, and give you that alive, connected ground feel with just the right amount of smart cushioning. No more numb, lazy feet. The Strand ATR. This is the trail-ready beast. The trail shoes that I seek out of my mess of running shoes, and the ones that I've run well over 300 miles on. Why should you care about your feet? Well, those max cushion shoes that are all the rage have made our feet lazy. Lazy, weak feet can be the root of all injury evil. Palooza changes everything. I gotta be honest with you guys. I love how they feel on my feet. Every toe moves completely independently, gripping and spreading naturally. The ground connection is straight up addictive, and it just feels right. I like running the way your body was designed to run. Connected, powerful, alive. You'll get stronger arches, better balance, a smoother ride, and stronger feet. Check out our link tree to save 10% on your next pair of Paloozas. Stronger feet, smarter running shoes. Shoes that embody the spirit of a renegade. Check them out.
In the book, there was a couple quotes I wanted to come across here. And it's like, the first one was, we don't get unlimited time to chase dreams that scare us. We get now. Help us understand that from your perspective.
Well, I just going through this, this cancer diagnosis with my husband, that really just brought a lot of things to light, and it just changed my perspective a lot. Am I going to wait? Just go for it now when you have the means. I think it's easy to, I'll wait when this happens, or, we can easily make these excuses to wait on doing things. And going through this with my husband, I'm thinking, we don't know how long we're here. Why am I going to wait to run 50 miles when I can do it now if I'm willing to put in the work, in the time and the consistency? So I guess that's what I was saying when I wrote that, was it's easy to kind of push our dreams down the road. And I'm urging people not to do that, because you don't know how long you're here.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I felt that same vibe when I read that quote. It's so many people, even a younger Todd who wasn't a runner, but for those who are listening, you don't know what tomorrow is going to hold. So if you can sign up and train and run that race, go do it. Go do something that you think is a little bit farther than you think you can actually do. And you'll surprise yourself, like to Julie's earlier point, if you're consistent and you put in that work. Where do you see the similarities, and where do you see the differences now from the 50-mile training to the 100-mile training?
Yeah. So instead of running 5 days a week, I'm running 6 days a week. So I have one rest day. So I picked up on that. I'm like, okay. And then doing a little, more time on my feet during the week and the weekend. And every other weekend I'm doing, 2 a day. So there's obviously I'm running longer. So there's going to be, I need to be, my coach is always like, you can't cheat the distance. So, we're doing what I need to do, but actually not running 100 miles until I step on the line. But, he's preparing me for that in this training. So I do see those different shifts, the more days a week and more time on my feet, if it's walking or running. So.
And when you're with yourself and you're letting the mind wander to imagine this 100-mile race that's coming up, what scares you the most about the 100-mile race?
Oh gosh, I think the thing that scares me the most is going to be my gut. Meaning, am I going to be able to keep eating? I know I have to keep eating to finish. I feel like it's almost like an eating race. Yep. You have to eat. Like my coach was like, if you think you just ate all day long, that's exactly how you want to feel. You want to just be like, yeah, I just basically ate all day. So that's really what I'm working through this now is, okay, you've got to keep eating. And okay, if you get nausea, if you throw up, okay, these are the things I'm going to do. So I'm trying to, prepare as best I can. If this happens, then what? How will I respond, to kind of give myself a way to stay calm and not freak out and not ruminate about it. So I think that's the main thing is it's really nutrition for me.
Nutrition, yeah. And I always heard this too. So like, do you know what the weather is going to be like around the time you run the 100-miler?
I don't, but in past races, it's cooler. It's on the cooler side. So maybe like 50s, 60s. It'll probably rain at some point in the
Okay.
race. They say it usually is raining at some point. So
That'd actually be probably really nice because, you're probably a little bit tired. You get a little bit of rain on. You're like, yeah, we'll back up. This might be good.
that's right. It'll keep me awake. I'm kind of hoping it's at nighttime, so it'll keep me up, keep me alert.
Just from the guests that we've had on over the years, the advice that I've heard and whatnot is usually the gut issues can come for the folks who are running super hard, running all the time. Like because your blood's not flowing to your gut, so your gut slows down, and then you take a whole bunch of food in because you're running fast. So it's almost like you got to be really strategic about running fast, then slowing down to eat, then picking back up. So like learning pace, I don't know, maybe the front of the packs are trying to run 6-minute miles while eating baked potatoes. That's probably not going to work that well. Right. But I don't know.
And I'm not running that pace. So maybe, I'm going to be okay.
You're going to be fantastic.
It'll be fun.
What always scares me about the 100-mile race, I like to sleep. So I had never signed up for a 100-mile race just yet. Although I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos the last little bit before I go to bed, and subliminally, now maybe it's coming back into my mind, but I'm probably more like a 30-hour person.
We're talking right now. There's a reason.
There's a reason, exactly. Maybe I'll sign up for the 100-miler here.
It's flat.
But for me, like I'm always thinking maybe about 30 hours to finish a 100-miler. So I'm like, I like to sleep. So maybe it'd take me 32 hours because I'd probably fall asleep for 4 or 5 hours on the side of the road somewhere because I love sleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't plan on sleeping.
You don't plan on sleeping? No. That's a good strategy.
Caffeine. Give me the caffeine gels. Okay, let's do that.
Well, that's awesome. If we went back to the JFK for a moment, what was your favorite memory?
Oh my gosh. I just met so many awesome people. There's just so many memories. I have to say the first one was when I met Spice and Billy at the expo. I had no idea about the gold medal finisher and the silver medal finisher until I was there at the expo and I saw their medals on the table. And I was like, oh, what's this gold one? Did you win? And they laughed at me. But Spice is like, oh no, the top 100 females get the gold medal. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then I just kind of forgot about it. But that interaction helped so much when I was out there. There was one point on the CNO where I was just, struggling. I was tired. And that conversation entered my mind. And I was like, oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to play this game now until the finish. Every woman runner ahead of me, I'm going to pretend that she's 100. So there's number 100, go get her. There's number 100, go get her. So that was so helpful. Like I am so happy that Spice told me that. And then that conversation entered my mind in that moment to help me finish. But it was also just cool too, because there was a couple people I was dedicating miles to. And, I changed the name in the book, but that same name, there was a moment where I was struggling and I was just like praying and doing my mantras. And I was like, oh, I really wish someone was here running with me. And at that moment, this guy came up on me and his name happened to be the same name of these like two other men I dedicated. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that is not a coincidence, but it gave me goosebumps because I'm like, oh my gosh, hey, like this is awesome. And then it was the same name of the guy who, I don't know if you saw the guy at the bottom. So when you come off the CNO at the bottom of the hill, there's a guy sitting there who's giving out soup, but he's at his house.
Yes.
And
yes. Yep.
The soup guy. Same name. So it was like Jim, all the Jims were like, it was just so cool. I'm like, that is not a coincidence.
It's not a coincidence. That's the serendipity. Yes, the serendipity of the run, for sure.
Yeah, so there was that. Yeah, that was cool.
I had an interesting experience this year as we came into Williamsport, went under the underpass, got into town, and I made the right-hand turn and to head up
Okay.
towards the school. And as I head up
Yeah.
to the school, two little kids came up to me and started running with me. And the one little kid was just a chatterbox. And he just kept saying, "You're doing great. You're going to remember this forever." And
Oh my
after the
God.
race, I'm like, was that kid even there? Like I wasn't that tired, but it was really strange because like how many little kids like 8 or 9 years old would just randomly run up and down a street encouraging people on. Um, and that was awesome because for like maybe 2 minutes I was talking to him, and maybe I was talking to my younger self. I don't know, but that
I
little
love
encouragement
that.
really pushed me strong to the finish. Yeah, it was amazing, and that's maybe what it is about those ultra distances. Like you get more time in nature, more time with the serendipity of life and the interesting
Yeah,
connections that we all have. I just
it
love it.
is. Yeah, I love that too. I mean, look at all the things we get to see. I don't know
Yes.
when you run, if you run really early, but I run really early in the morning, and it's just amazing the things that I see. The other morning, it was so dark, and I heard this owl, and I kept running, but then there was this nudge to turn around. And
Mm.
so I'm like, okay, I'm listening. I'm going to turn around. And I looked up and there was like a humongous great horned owl. I don't even know how I saw it. It was so dark out, but there was a house kind of near it. And so they had a light on in the back and it was just huge. And I just stood there and watched it. And then I was like, I want to see it fly. And so then it finally just, the wings were at probably 5, but things like that. I just am really grateful that I get to be out there running, and I don't want to take that for granted.
I totally agree with you on that. You know what? Maybe
Yeah.
just a couple other questions here. I know we're just at time. If the Julie who lined up in Boonesboro could whisper one piece of advice to the Julie that crossed the line in Williamsport, what would that piece of advice be? And for our listeners, if
Mm.
they are hoping to catch a secret, what would you hope that they hear from that piece of advice?
I think it's what I just said. Focus on gratitude.
Hmm.
Focus on you're choosing. I'm choosing to line up here. I'm choosing to be out there hours, and I get to do this. And I think when we focus on gratitude in that mindset, it it just makes it great, right? It makes it better. It doesn't matter what time or place I came into, but if my focus is on that, then even if I get tired, or even if, and I will, right? If we get tired, if we hurt, if we're in discomfort, we can just keep, okay, focus back. I get to do this. I get to be here.
That's great advice. That's definitely great advice for the Renegade listeners. Like
I think
focus on the
everybody,
gratitude. We get to
right?
do this.
Yeah, because I just my old self, I still work on it, is I can tend to ruminate
Hmm.
on things. And so that has really pulled me out of that old pattern that I had for a long time. Was all right, let's bring it back to gratitude and focus on that.
Well, we're definitely going to be cheering you on this year. I'll definitely see you at the JFK50.
Yeah.
And you know what? Do you have a bucket list 100 miler that you're looking at, or is it the 200 milers after the 100 miler? Like, what's
So
the
maybe,
future? Where,
you
if
know,
you let the imagination run wild for a minute, where do you
yeah.
see that?
Oh gosh, I would love to run out west. That would be a really cool thing to run out there. And yeah, the elevation's crazy, but the views, I can't even imagine what that must be like to be running and seeing, oh, those mountains, those views. Oh my gosh. So that's in the back of my mind. Don't tell my husband.
It's always good to have it. Always good to have those in the back of your mind. I'm with you. Like these YouTube videos I mentioned, I was watching Jeff Peltier, another gentleman, West Platte, and he
Wow.
ran like the Bigfoot 200 and the Tahoe 200. And I'm
Oh
talking to
yes.
myself, oh, you could do 200 miles in 5 days. There's no worries. I'm like, but it's just so beautiful. That's why I want to be out there. Like I'd probably only get 50 miles done and then fall asleep in the shanty and not wake up for a long, long time. But it looks so wonderful. Like I that's where my mind kind of goes to. Out west
Yeah.
as well. Like the
Yeah.
mountains would be beautiful.
how it would be cool because it's not it's a loop, right? It's
Yeah.
200. So how amazing is that you're seeing something new every time and that would keep you going, right? I mean, that's where my mind would think, oh, I want to see what's next. I want to see what's next.
Yeah.
So yeah, that might be on the list.
That's awesome.
Let's go.
Well, Julie, we can't thank you enough. Miles of meanings from doubter to JFK mile, from doubter to JFK 50 mile finisher. It's a great read. You talk about the history of the race. You talk about your evolution, how you trained for it, how you set the mantra of having 50 different folks that you dedicated the run to. That speaks to the points that you were saying about stay focused, the one step at a time. That's even a good mantra to say, one name at a time, that it gets you through that next mile. Great advice for all the Renegade listeners. And we're just so glad to share a conversation with you.
Thank you so much for having me on. This was great. This was really cool.
We thank you for listening to the Renegade Podcast. Each episode, we dare to practice the lost art of conversation to better understand this thing we call life and the human connection that we have with running and endurance sport. If you enjoy the Renegade Podcast, could we ask for a favor? Head on over to our YouTube and click subscribe and like our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Your engagement helps keep the Renegade Podcast growing and going. If you have a show idea, a comment, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email, runegadepodcast@gmail.com. That's RUNEGADE podcast@gmail.com. We have a great list of guests coming up that we're looking forward to sharing another conversation with you. Head on over to our link tree, check out our sponsors, our friends of the podcast. We have great discount codes that, thanks to them, they're offering you, the Renegade listeners, to save some money on the best running gear, apparel, fuel, and nutrition. We thank you for listening. And remember, in a world of runners, be a renegade.